Hi everyone, hello. My name's Anna and I'm the Publicity and Promotions Officer for Crest Co-operative. We're a social enterprise in North Wales in Llandudno Junction. So we're quite a small social enterprise. We're expanding slowly but surely really. So today it's just to apologise firstly that Leslie, who was here from Kibble, she's actually not been able to make it. So it's myself today. So I'd like to share with you the story of Crest really. I started a year ago and came in to do the marketing for Crest. I was actually a local newspaper reporter before I started at Crest, so I brought with me the media contacts. But I'm just going to show you what the position was a year ago and how we've tried to kind of extend the marketing. And if you could, really, if you've got any questions as I go along, we'll try and keep it as informal as possible. And if anyone has any questions or you'd like to discuss any elements of it, then we're open to that, so that's excellent. Hello, are you okay? Okay, so entering the world of marketing. So as I said, I was employed last year as Publicity and Promotions Officer. So we've been established since 1998, so over 10 years. And we have 25 employees, so as I said, it's quite a small organisation really. And we provide volunteer opportunities. Volunteers are actually vital to the work that we do at Crest. Hello. We currently have over 20 volunteers at the moment, and they do various jobs, administration, working in our warehouses, working in retail, leaflet distributors, ironing, absolutely all sorts. We provide supported work placements for the long-term unemployed and adults with learning disabilities. So at the moment we have intermediate labour market programmes running. We also have an over 50s ILM as well, and we have a gateway project where we're working with the housing association to get people back into work that may have lost confidence and they've been unemployed for a while. So quite a wide variety, and you can see that there are obviously a lot of elements that could be marketed here when you see. Okay, we operate 4 recycling enterprises. So our recycling enterprises are our community store, where we actually sell second-hand goods, reclaimed goods. We sell furniture as well, and we collect from members of the public. We also work with the Housing Association to reclaim kitchens and bathrooms. And we operate Fair Share North Wales, which is a new project that's been running for a year, and it's a food poverty project, and we feed in the homeless and vulnerable across 2 counties. And then we have our adults with learning disabilities and the unemployed that work in these various recycling enterprises as well. Okay, I just wondered if I could speak to you all here really to get a view of what you all do, where you're from. Could we just go around the room first, starting from the back, if you don't mind?
Yeah, my name's Yayan, and I'm marketing officer at the Social Enterprise Sport Project at the Wales Co-operative Centre.
Excellent. And yourself?
I'm Joanna Fashion. I work for Gwent Association of Voluntary Organisations as an enterprising officer.
I'm Alistair Smith from Cardiff University, so I'm interested in social enterprise from a research perspective.
Right.
So I'm involved in facilitating student work in the sector.
I don't know if it's working there. Is that working?
It's when you go into the... No, it's when you go...
Oh, there. My name's Liz Cook. I work for the Enterprise and Communities Project. I've been in post for 8 weeks, and yeah, that's me.
Okay, lovely.
My name is Dean Causey. I work for a community education centre, but we've got a couple of social enterprises, a day nursery and a cafe as well, so that we're looking to market more.
Fantastic.
I'm Jane Lewis and I work for Collaborative Communities, and it's a project that helps social enterprises develop as sustainable organisations.
Hi, I'm Claire Gore. I work for New Horizons, which is a mental health charity, mental health and wellbeing charity in Aberdare. and we're setting up a social enterprise design service.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Karen Proctor and I work for Swansea Council for Voluntary Service and I'm the Enterprise and Communities Officer.
Hi, I'm Kath Hilston. I work for Kilch and I manage communications, marketing and events.
Excellent.
I'm Ant Flanagan. I work for Dynamics as a development officer. We're a training cooperative that delivers training in all sorts of different things.
Hi, I'm Pat Smell. I'm setting up Paddlebook Arts, which is a creative-based social enterprise. So I'm interested in how you sell stuff.
Right, okay, brilliant.
I'm Gareth Voyle. I work for Merthyr Council and I coordinate a programme of grant funding for 6 authorities to develop social enterprises.
Hi, I'm Ian Evans from Merthyr Council and I work on the coordination team with Gareth, delivering the project across 6 local authorities.
Brilliant.
Hi, I'm Tracy Wood. I'm based in Bridgend County Borough Council. I work on the same project, but I'm the grants officer for Bridgend.
Hi, I'm Sue Whittaker and I do one of my jobs is working with social enterprises in Bridgend.
Hi, I'm Esther Price. I work for Bridgend Association of Voluntary Organisations. Fortunately, we can say BARVO for short, supporting really sustainability of third sector organisations and embryonic social enterprises.
Hello, my name is Heath Vine and I'm looking to start a social enterprise.
Excellent.
David Williams from Social Firms Wales, and basically I'm the commercialisation bod for a lot of our clients.
Okay, excellent. So we've got a range of people in today, as we can see, from startups to more well-established organisations. So are there many people that are new to marketing? Obviously the people who are starting out, but have we got any more people? Excellent. Okay, so a range of people. Right, so I'll just talk about our Crest marketing activity at the start of 2010. So we had an out-of-date website with no content management system or any way of organising anything. The design was kind of all over the place. When I first started, they had quite old events listed on there. I think they'd had an event from a year ago listed on, so they weren't constantly updating the website. They had no local or national media activity, or very little. I think they probably only had about maybe one newspaper article over the previous year in the papers. So there was quite a lot of confusion really about what Crest actually did in the local area. So obviously that was the first element that needed to be sorted out. No online marketing activity. So they had no presence online at all. Just their website, as we say, which was out of date. And they just rebranded. They just had a new logo. They had a new logo designed by a company with several crests actually coming out of it for each individual recycling enterprise, but they hadn't used it on any promotional material, and they did actually just have leaflets. Okay. But again, the logo hadn't been used. It was an old logo. They had no attendance at local events at all. And as I said, the only marketing activity was leaflets. They had no contacts database, even though they had so many supporters. They had a local community store, so obviously that's a great way to gain support because you have customers coming in and out every day. And they were also collecting textiles from residents across the county, so 40,000 homes at the time when I started, but they had no contacts database, and that's again, it's another great way to gain support. And no local advertising, so no advertising budget, and no local advertising. So what needed to be done? So we needed to conduct a study of areas that needed promotion. And as I said, the first area obviously was the community store. We were losing sales, they were actually losing sales, and they had several problems. One actually being the location of the store, because it's on an industrial estate, it's not actually high street, but they didn't want to invest in a high street store, so we had to look at what we could do in that department. Okay, they needed a new website with a content management system, get it all up to date, and make sure we had a new a news archive where all the content could be arranged properly and it could be easy to understand. And they needed to send regular press releases to local media contacts, and they currently, at that point, they had no contacts with any local media at all. Okay, and social networking, so Facebook and Twitter. Who tweets and who's on Facebook here, anybody? Yeah, oh, excellent. Okay, so we have all sorts of social networking sites. Online promotion, so online selling. Obviously with the internet, it's a great marketplace to sell online, and it's so easy to access. So they needed new promotional material with new branding, so they needed to use that logo, and they needed to use the colours that were in the logo to actually rebrand the whole of the store. Information packs, regular newsletters, keeping when you've established the contacts database, keeping them up to date with everything. And they needed attendance at local events. Okay, so they needed to establish whether they actually were going to have a marketing budget. Obviously they'd invested in somebody to do the marketing, so they did have quite a small budget, but a budget nonetheless. So it's really looking at, for your business, whether you do want to invest really in marketing, or whether it's free promotional opportunities that you'd like to take advantage of. Of course, you'd like to take advantage of free promotional opportunities as much as possible, but there are other ways to promote your business out there. Okay, so they needed also to research into awards opportunities as well to raise their profile. So there are plenty of award opportunities out there, and they hadn't really been honoured for the work that they were doing in the community very much. So that was another aspect. So we started regular market research as well. We need to make sure that everything that you're actually doing is working. So obviously doing customer satisfaction surveys and questionnaires. So creating a brand. So we needed to know what the social enterprise was trying to achieve, and the logo should reflect this. So in Crest's case, we had the 4 recycling enterprises. So if you can see at the bottom, they use the crest for every colour reflects a social recycling enterprise. And use the branding on all the promotional materials. So on the information packs, banners, like the one at the side, we've actually got a banner for every colour of that crest. So the orange in the crest is community services. So we can use them at different events. And the website, if you see at the top, this is from our brand new website that's recently been created. So we've taken, obviously, the colours out of the crest, and we've used these in the website to emphasise that brand in there. And a regular newsletter, again using all the branding. So press coverage, so getting started with press coverage. Our local papers are the Daily Post, North Wales Pioneer, the Rural Journal and the Weekly News. So firstly what we needed to do was identify local newspapers and publications. There's a number of local residents magazines as well that get distributed to doors. So you need to really make a list of all the local publications that are in your area. Build a contacts list and make contact with reporters. That's vital really, because once you get your name known, that's when your media coverage starts to happen for you really. So find out who covers your area, because there's a number of reporters and you need to be sending it to the right people. Make a phone call firstly, even go and arrange to visit your local reporters, and then make them aware that you're going to be sending regular press releases. And an important one, as working as a reporter previously, I know that you need to be aware of deadlines. You need to be aware of their deadlines, obviously, to get your articles in on time, but you also need to make sure you're not pestering them at the busiest times of the week or of the day, depending, whether it's weekly or daily. So set aside time in your diary to make sure you can put together a press release. take a look at newspaper articles in your local paper as well. If you're new to it, I don't know how advanced some people are. Obviously, some people have a lot of marketing experience, others are new at it and they're looking at investing in it. But you may want to test the water firstly, so if you're trying to see whether it works, then take a look at other newspaper articles in your local press and they'll help you to find out what reporters are looking for and give you some ideas. So it tends to be human interest stories, things that impact on people's lives really, that are the real winners. Okay, so make a list of other media opportunities, websites. I don't know whether anybody knows about their local blogs. We have one called The Best of Llandudno in our area, and there's many different local blogs, local publications and industry recognised publications as well. Okay, can anybody think of any areas looking at that really where you think that maybe your company is quite newsworthy, but you've maybe there's a missed opportunity for promotion, or are there any areas that you think could be newsworthy in the future?
I think that point you made about finding out the reporters' deadlines.
Yeah.
I think that's really reporters' deadlines, but I never thought of that before.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense, and I'm thinking maybe that's why some of my things haven't got in the local papers, because I don't actually know if what I'm thinking is the day that they need to have it by is probably the wrong day.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes I would imagine that day changes,
Yeah,
when they
it's
review
cut
things
off
and
points.
things,
Yeah. Excellent. Yes.
We're a network organisation representing organisations that do reuse, recycling in the third sector, and we have a problem sometimes getting stories from our social enterprise members that are doing members that are doing interesting things in the local community. If you have networks that you're connected to, then obviously getting stories to them is probably quite a good way of getting your stories out further.
Yes, yeah, definitely. So do you have problems getting maybe case studies from people as well, or is?
Just sometimes we have trouble in finding out about what our members are up to, because
Oh,
we're a
right,
sort of
okay.
national network organisation based in Cardiff.
Yeah.
With members, but we don't always get to hear what's happening on the ground with them locally.
Well, maybe an appeal could help on
we
your
do
website.
that, but
You
I
do
think
things
it's got to work both.
Yeah,
it's gotta
both
work
ways.
Both
Yeah,
ways. That's all
excellent.
the point to make it.
Fantastic. Okay, so social enterprises are extremely newsworthy, as I'm sure you'll find across the board. And it's the human interest stories that make it so newsworthy. Service users who've benefited from the social enterprise. When I first started at Crest, they didn't actually realise how newsworthy it was. Obviously, they're impacting people's lives on a daily basis. They're feeding the homeless, they're getting the unemployed back into work. But to not have any media coverage, they just didn't realise that it was actually newsworthy. And I don't know whether that some organisations don't realise how newsworthy the work that they actually do is. Launch of new schemes, how your project will benefit the community. When we launched Fair Share, we had a big event, and we invited all the local papers down, and the also national media as well, ITV and BBC Wales. And obviously we went with the angle that it would be impacting on people's lives. Obviously it would be benefiting the homeless and the vulnerable. And then facts and figures are always good to demonstrate success. So for example, our food poverty project diverts, well, it's about 90 tonnes now of food from landfill, and that was in just 1 year to feed the homeless. So if you keep the press updated with your new facts and figures really, whether it be whatever your obviously your area of business is, any figures that are of human interest, again, they will have quite a great impact. So send a press release with photos after each event attended. Make sure that they're aware. Even if your newspaper articles, if you're sending, press releases, and even if they're not getting in the press constantly, your name is going to start to be recognised. And they may think as well, we've had a number of occasions where, for example, I've been sending press releases to obviously the national television channels, even when they're not getting in, they're not actually interested in them. They'll then think of something, for example, they'll be having a discussion about unemployed people, and then it will spark that, well, Crest, they actually deal with unemployed people, because we've seen their names so many times, because obviously sending press releases through. So it's something that gradually over time you begin to build up this profile, and people start to understand what you're about, and the more you actually appear in newspapers, and the more you actually have contact with your media contacts, the more it starts to happen for you then. Okay, so awards success as well. If you've had any success with awards, that's always a really good thing to highlight with the local press. Visits from politicians and councillors, any high profile people really, even if you can get, obviously it's quite hard, but if you can get any celebrities or any kind of local celebrities in, it's always going to give you a great profile. We've actually, on a local level, we've invited councillors to Crest to come and actually have a look round, and it's led to visits then from politicians, and we've invited local MPs, and then we recently had a visit from Nick Clegg. Then obviously with the current government, they're quite keen on this kind of big society, and social enterprise fits quite well with that. So it has, that increased our profile, that visit as well. So any visits that you can get from any influential people are always extremely newsworthy. So our press success, so in just 1 year, Crest has appeared in the local press 59 times, so it's about once a week for 12 months. We've featured on national television 3 times, BBC Wales and ITV. And we featured on BBC Radio Wales twice. And we also have regular appearances, I don't know whether anybody does this, on our community radio station. It's free promotion, and fantastic really if you're a really local company and you wanting local people to actually hear about what you do. So we do that about once a month, I'd say, and it's working quite well for us. Okay, so there's just some examples, just to really give you some ideas of the kind of news articles that have appeared in the press for us. I'll just show you an example now of what's appeared on national television, just to give you an idea of what they're looking for really.
A weekly shop with a difference. All the food delivered is completely free. A big boost for a hostel supporting 8 men with drug and alcohol issues.
Our food bills here are about £150 to £200 a week. So with the money that we'll save from food track, it'll go towards the lads' personal development, activities, maybe a new tally or something like that we need in the house.
The Fair Share charity came to North Wales 6 months ago. Food rejected by supermarkets despite being perfectly edible is sorted then given to people and projects who really need it. So far, 63,000 tonnes of food has been brought here instead of going to a landfill. That's equivalent to 126,000 boxes of cereal or 160,000 ready meals. So why is it being thrown away?
Simply, normally it's in the way of those suppliers. It's taking up warehouse space, or it's no longer viable to be sold in the supermarkets because it's beyond their coded life. But obviously for people in the houses, 1 to 2 months life is fine.
With a funding boost of £400,000 coming from the Welsh Assembly, the charity hopes to expand to South Wales, where stacks more food is going to waste. Lorna Pritchard, Wales Tonight, Llandudno Junction.
I'm just wondering really if there's
a weekly shop with a
playing
difference.
again now. We'll get that stopped. I'm just wondering if there's anybody who's struggled really to get things in the local press, and if there's anybody that wants to, discuss it really, how you've struggled. Have you faced any challenges or anything like that? Are there any problems, or are there things that you'd like to kind of improve for the company?
I think our press lobby prefers bad stories and like good stories.
Bad stories.
Oh, sorry. That's all I have to say.
So does it tend to be a struggle then really to get anything, when you benefit in the community? Has it been a struggle for you?
Yes, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
The bad things getting, not the good things. Sort of something bad's happened, a fire or something, as opposed to somebody got celebrated.
Yeah. Well, I suppose it does tend to, the bad news stories do tend to go on the front pages really, don't they? But, really with your local press, they're supposed to be there for your community benefit, so it shouldn't, they should be featuring. I know it's often a challenge really, but hopefully by building those contacts with media, then hopefully, they will start to recognise the good work that you're doing in the community, and it will work. But we've been quite lucky with the local press in North Wales really. They have, they've tended to feature all the good work that we're doing in the community, so it is a real shame if that happens. So hopefully that will improve. Okay, so paid advertising. I don't know whether anyone has an advertising budget or whether it's more the free promotional opportunities that you're looking for really. But there are different options. So there's the local press. We've had a number of advertisements in the local press, and it seems to raise the profile at the same time, and if you try and get an article in at the same time, then obviously you're featuring twice in the local press, and that always seems to have a big impact. We've tried things like 20% off sales in our community store, but we've found you kind of need to test the water, because we've found with things like that we don't seem to get any custom from it. And then we may put a £5 voucher in, so £5 off, and then we have people coming flooding through the doors. So, you really need to test the water with it, maybe start with smaller adverts, have a discussion with the advertising team and see how other companies have fared really with their advertising. Okay, so like I said, there's local radio as well. We recently launched a Heart FM campaign, and we've done well with that. We've actually seen an increase in sales over the year when we thought we were going to actually experience a loss. So with all the advertising and the articles, it's been a good investment. Okay, so local publications, publications on display at local shops. We've had a number of offers that we've actually had with local papers, because we do advertise. They tend to, if you're finding out about advertising opportunities all the time, they tend to give you, advertising at a cheaper rate than maybe nearer their deadline. They might knock some money off an advert for you, which is fantastic. And we've recently had, a glossy magazine that's been distributed at Debenhams, Boots, Cineworld, Asda, and it's kind of, tied in with the adverts in the local press, because they've actually produced this pamphlet, so that's been quite a success for us. But there'll be things like Crest can't afford to have a big full page advert in a local newspaper. It's quite costly really, and we've managed to, because we've been advertising on and off, over a year, they give us a ring when there's something going really cheap, kind of bottom rate, and then, a big advert always has a really good impact. So again, it's good to keep up to date with your advertising contacts as well if you do have a budget for paid advertising. So as I said, test the water first with small adverts, find out what works, and set a realistic budget as well. If you are going to set a budget, you don't want to obviously be putting loads into advertising if you don't know whether it works. So, okay, online marketing now, moving on to that. It's never been quicker and easier. There's a lot of free opportunities for promotion online. Social networking, we've spoken about that before, and we have our Twitter feed on our new website as well, and people can follow us. We also tend to add our Facebook and Twitter logos and followers on Twitter, or become our friend on Facebook, on our advertisements as well, any advertisements that we have, and also on the bottom of our emails as well. That tends to be on there. I can say that we've actually, looking at website stats, we've had more success really with Facebook. We've had people linking to our website, checking out, because we've got an online store that we've recently launched. So that's quite good. Local websites and blogs. So as we said before, make a list of your local websites and your local blogs, and see if you can get some free online marketing there, advertising your local events or your products. I don't know whether anyone's heard of Community Broker yet. Okay, so that's quite good for uploading your news articles. And it's free promotion again. And appearing in local directories, always make sure you Google your company and make sure you're quite high up, you've got quite a good presence in online directories. Your online media as well. If you want to, do some research really, find out about your local blogs and everything, and make a list of email addresses for online media as well as local and national media, because you always need to really include that in your press released mailing list. It's quite handy. And obviously, as more and more articles appear on the internet about your company, when you do actually Google your company name, obviously there'll be a wider range of articles coming up. With Crest, for recycling enterprises, we do all sorts. So, we tend to, if you do Google Crest name, we tend to have a mix of kind of unemployment, feeding the homeless, textiles, and you want to try and get everything in so people know what you do automatically. You can search for the latest events online, award opportunities, and fill in your applications as well. And again, your free promotional opportunities. And search engine optimization, I don't know whether anyone's quite technical here. And if you do actually update your website, but to have your website constantly changing, that increases your search engine optimization. And also tagging as well, that's quite good, any keywords or anything. Okay, so these are just examples of that's our Twitter page. And our Facebook, we've got a profile. Okay, so we tweet all sorts. We've got we have an annual fun day every year, so that's at the top of our Twitter page there. And all about things like vote for us in various awards, because a lot of the time they have public voting, so you've got to do it online now and get your online supporters. So that's really why we originally set up a Facebook and a Twitter page. But with, I think I've lost my microphone away. Am I better now? Yeah, so you can also promote if you're thinking about selling online. If you do have products that you want to sell, it's a great way to promote your online products. So allowing people to view products in their own homes. So eBay is a national showcase. I don't know whether anyone's tried putting products on eBay. We're doing quite well with it at the moment, actually. It's been really good for us because we we actually collect clothing from local residents, and then we will sell clothes, and we get some clothes that come in and they're nearly new, or they're actually new with tags. So we've actually got 2 volunteers working on that and inputting that. So that's trying to get a good profit back without actually putting in giving it as a paid job to somebody. So it's pure profit really. So that's our eBay shop. We have a link to it on our website. And we've created a new online shop using free plugins. We tried it with PayPal Buy It Now buttons, but you'd have to design every page and it was quite time consuming. So now we've got a shop with this free, it's a free website, so there's no risk attached to it. We haven't paid for the online shop. So we've had that running for about a week now, so obviously it's quite new. We did have, after a week with the online shop, we had a great increase in sales of our furniture. When we came back after the weekend, the shop floor was nearly cleared of furniture. Customers have said that they've been checking it out online, so because it's second hand, we do actually have a process where they can actually, you know, pay online and it will be delivered, but because it's second hand and there may be marks and scratches, I think people are enjoying the fact that they can view it in their own homes and then they can then come in, take a look at it and purchase it. Okay, so that's a new thing for us. 3 to 3s, selling for the third sector. So that's the website there. So that's quite a good, if you're just starting out selling, you can link it to your PayPal account. Pre-loved is another one for second-hand goods, the joy of second-hand. So it's just like eBay really, but you can actually, you can charge for your goods on pre-loved. Okay, so I'll now show you our new website. Because as I said before, we had an old website, but it had no content management system in place, so it was quite messy really. So I'll show you what we've done to try and improve it, try and keep everything up to date and increase our search engine optimization as well. I know people think that investing in a website and a new website can be quite costly, but we've actually done this for a budget price really, and we've told them everything that we wanted and they've kept it as low as possible with the online shop, no charge at all for that, you know, and we've kept it at the lower end of the price scale really. But you know, it looks more professional for us, and you know, hopefully there's opportunities for people to leave comments on things. We now have an online news archive, so people can go into the various news archives. They can go back to, you know, different articles from months before. You can become a member of Crest Co-operative. We've got places for the shoppers to go, the schools, textile collections, and also jobs and training opportunities. There's an online calendar for events as well. You can subscribe to our local newsletter, so there's a chance to do that. And if you can see down the side on the left hand side, we now have a Twitter feed, and you can join us on Facebook and Twitter there. I'll just show you the online shop. Okay, so this is the free one that we actually did if you are interested in selling online. It's quite a good way to do it. As I say, I mean, it's quite time consuming to actually upload the projects, but if you've got anybody that's volunteering for you or anything like that and they're quite technically minded, you know, it's a great thing. Okay, so we've got all sorts. You can go into, it's all very well organised, go into view our furniture and everything online, and then purchase it or come into the shop as well. So we're just starting out with that. We're going to see how it goes. But with eBay, that has been a success, and we've now got 2 volunteers, as I said, and they're actually uploading items onto eBay. So that's good. And because as well of the location of our community store, because it's out on an industrial estate, it's another way to tempt people really. You know, they don't want to come out of their way to come shopping if there's nothing that they want to buy, but if they can actually view it online before they come, then it's worth them coming out of their way really, isn't it? And hopefully we'll get more and more customers. So that's what we're hoping. Has anyone started selling online, or are you maybe thinking about it? I don't know whether many people have products that, I know yourself, you said you're thinking about it, are you?
Yeah, I'm just thinking that what I should do though is, because I'm only going to have a small range of products to start, is to work with someone like yourself and say, look, I bring them to you, and then, you know, can you sell them? Not necessarily you, because you're North Wales, I'm South Wales, but, you know, somebody equivalent, and to, you know, to do it like that, you know, rather than do it myself. But
yeah,
it's really interesting.
Yeah, it's a way to find out how your products will sell as well, because it's, you know, you want to know what is going to sell if you're going to invest
it's
time
going to
in
be
it.
small children's related, you know, things. So,
right.
You know, it might fit there somewhere.
It does, yeah, I think so. Okay, so radio. We're on the free promotional opportunities on community radio. And we have a local Heart FM campaign. We'll see if this plays now.
Running a family on a budget is never easy, especially if you have a new arrival to worry about. But they say a good deal is exactly where you find it. So with amazing prices on nearly new prams, cots, pushchairs, clothes and all other nursery items, you'll find a great deal at Crest Co-operative. From nearly new to end-of-line brand goods, top quality for much less than you pay on the high street. When it comes to family matters, that's one less thing to worry about. Find great deals on everything at Crest Co-operative, Ferry Farm Road, Llandudno Junction.
Okay, so that's the new Heart FM campaign that we've launched, and it's been quite a success at the moment. So you know that's investing really, because obviously that's paid. But as I said, there's free promotional opportunities available to you as well. And not just community radio, there's regional, other regional radio stations that if you benefit, if you creating a huge impact on the community, then I'm sure they'll give up some time to let you actually go on and discuss. A great way to do that as well is to get some service users who are benefiting. So a few case studies and see if you can get them to go on the radio with you, and they'll speak about what you've actually done for them. And that's a fantastic way to boost your profile. And as we said before, the more local coverage, again, national success should soon follow. Okay. We send out regular newsletters now to our contacts database. So basically, we kind of collate all the press releases that we've sent over the past few months, and we put them into a newsletter, a kind of roundup. And that seems to work really well if people have missed different articles, and that's less. It's not as time consuming for yourselves really if you did want to do that. If you're approaching your media contacts with press releases, then to put them into a newsletter format, you're not completely starting from scratch with that. You're just updating them on what you've been doing with your PR throughout the month. Okay, so we have information packs available to every visitor, so not just leaflets, as we say, information packs as well. Yeah, and on our website as well, we do actually have application forms that people can download application forms to join us. I don't know whether people are looking for volunteers here or they're looking for any new staff, but it's a good way to actually attract people. So a way to build up your list of events, look in local papers, your local online blogs and websites, and also event management companies as well. Contact local community groups. I tend to give presentations to local community groups as well about the work that we do, just to raise awareness really in the community, and hopefully by word of mouth that tends to it has worked for us. Our profile has increased over the past year, so hopefully that's one of the reasons as well. So find out, think about who your service is aimed at firstly, who do you want to promote it to, and then you'll find the kind of community groups that you want to approach. Even the local council, if you do want to approach it. Building your profile as well, it can also, as I'm sure you're aware, be good for opportunities like funding as well. You'll be put in mind for things like that really. Contact local shopping centres. They sometimes offer free space to promote good causes. We're in our local shopping centre every few weeks as well, and we have an information stand in another local one too, so that's free promotion again. And we sell products there as well as having banners and giving out information packs. A lot of people do, we have been giving out gift bags, a lot of people do like free promotional materials, but then that increases your sales really, because people are coming to the store and they start to look at your products. Okay, so we said about the banners again to show the mission of your organisation, and we said about handing out promotional material to get people to sign up to your newsletter as well, or maybe even if you're up for awards, maybe get people to to vote for you as well. It's a good way to drum up support locally. Yeah, we've spoken about the visits really. So open days as well. We're trying to get at Crest. We're trying to get more food suppliers on board. Fair Share North Wales, getting more and more people to donate food. So we're actually holding an event called the Great North Wales Food Rescue. So hold events at your premises as well, and try and invite as many people. It doesn't have to be costly. You can actually hire you can hire projectors, you can hire everything that you need, and people tend to be quite giving when you're trying to get people to your premises to show the work that you're doing in the community. We also promote in shop windows. Local high street businesses offer a small fee to promote in the shop windows, so we do that as well. And in exhibitions. So I don't know, does anyone hold events at their premises or anything like that? Have you done that previously? No? Well, we hold an annual fun day to try and get people, but that's because we do have a community store on our premises, and it's to attract people. And we gain sponsorship from local businesses, so they find out what we're about, and we do gain sponsorship. Creating a video. I don't know whether anyone's got any videos on YouTube or anything like that. We've just got a second-hand camera to create our videos, and even if they're quite amateur, you can get them on YouTube, and there'll be hopefully a show of support for you. Okay, so the top tips now. Always look for new ideas and ways to improve marketing activity. Communication's the key. Speak to organisations, community groups. Great ways to find out about new promotional opportunities. And always carry a camera as well. You may contact your local press and you may have photo opportunities, but if you actually send photos into them, and they need to be well framed and get people in them as well, then they they tend to go in the paper. Sometimes you get put to the bottom of the pile as well. If they maybe come out and take a photograph, sometimes you get put to the bottom of the pile and it still doesn't appear in the paper, and you're wondering what's happened. But if you send in a well-framed photo with a press release, or even get that human impact thing and send a few lines across about how you've benefited the community, then hopefully they should be on to you then, contacting you.
Could you say a bit about the quality of the photo, like 1 megabyte or something? Is there a minimum size that it really needs to be?
Well, not really, because they'll adjust that just as long as it's you just do it with a normal digital camera, and just as long as it's well framed and everything, that's fine. That's fine. And then keep your media contacts up to date to finish it off, and you'll build your profile, and they may consider you for future media coverage. Are there any questions or anything? Is there anybody who'd like to ask anything? No?
So how did you measure the impact after you did all this? What did you...
Yeah, what we've done to measure the impact is our textile tonnage has actually increased by 60%. And that's through we go to schools and do various workshops with children at schools, and we've tried to increase tonnage. And we expected to experience a loss in our community store, but we've actually made a profit this year. Okay, so we've done well there. So that's how we've measured the success really. But as I say, it's been a year, so hopefully everybody's been talking about us lately. So we've managed to build it up, and more people know what we actually do now, rather than what do Crest do? They do some sort of recycling, but we've had more and more members for our Fair Share food poverty project, and we've managed to build up a good database of contacts now. Okay. Anything else, or is everyone tired after your day? Has it been a long day? Yeah, well that's just about everything now really that I've got to say. I've got some, if you want in some ideas about how to get things into local press, there's some newspaper articles at the front as well. You can maybe have a look at them and see if it gives you some inspiration really. Okay, thank you. Thanks.